Let's get some questions, Jim.
That's what I said. You got some questions.
Got some questions.
I got some answers.
Well, Jim, a topic that a lot of people have sent in questions about in the last 24 hours or so, give or take, has been Kenny Omega. Apparently, some conversation about him is stirring up.
I could have read some more emails rather than going there.
This could be interesting. He's in the news. People are talking about him, and it's stirring up some interesting conversation.
Did he get run over?
He did not get run over.
Ah, shucks. Well, you said he was in the news and people were talking about him.
Jim Ross, I have a quote here. I think it's from an interview of some sort. He said, "I don't think anybody is better than Randy Orton in the wrestling business. Of course, that's so subjective. I love Randy's work, although I don't watch it regularly enough to make a great evaluation. In the last several months that I have tuned in to watch some of Randy's segments, he doesn't disappoint." I guess he's watching different segments that
I was about to say maybe he's not watching anything involving The Fiend. I can see where maybe he hasn't watched Randy in a year or so.
No matter
I can see where he's going.
No matter how the creative is packaged to him, he doesn't disappoint. But anyway, here's the second part of the quote. "I'm sure there's Kenny Omega fans out there that would say Omega is the best wrestler in the world. Some will. And they got the right to their opinion, and I'm not going to argue it. Omega is really freaking good. In any event, it's a good time to be a fan. A lot of great talent out there, improving their game, adapting, and adding things." So, Jim, apparently this seems like a rather benign statement.
I was about to say he's trying to, be happy and positive and uplifting, and a lot of great talent out there. It's in the Federal Witness Protection Program, but
what he said here, really not about what he said about Kenny, I think more about the fact that he said good things about Randy Orton and said he's the best in the world, triggered a lot of people to rush to social media in the defense.
Because I would have said that maybe last year before I saw Orton versus The Fiend. So it's not far off, but it's just that, it may not be current.
So any other thoughts about Jim Ross's statement here before we go to the next statement we have?
Well, no, and I'm, and JR saying he doesn't watch it, as regularly as he used to, and boy, we can identify with that. But I can see a lot of people saying Randy Orton because his work is impeccable as far as everything looks good, nothing stupid, everything means something. He knows what he's doing. I can see JR being, a traditionalist would go with Randy. I think currently today, from what it may be tough and also just because Randy's been in that shit with the Fiend and the girl on the swing puking pea soup and all that stuff. If somebody said Walter to me, it would be hard to argue with that because, as I've said before, he's probably the best I've seen, and I don't know how long, maybe ever, at being himself, at doing what he would do. And there's no foolishness, and all his shit's good, and he's more modern.
You have a problem with Roman Reigns?
I wouldn't have a problem with Roman Reigns because then you've got the guy that's the modern day complete total package. He can talk, he can work, he looks good, he's being pushed in the spot. He's got the only manager of any meaningful note in the business today. So, you could definitely say that. I would never in a million years say Harpo, but I'm sure some people would, because as we've established, some people like to have their balls nailed to a step stool. But it's, some of it is taste and some of it is just obviously observing what you're seeing in front of your eyes.
Well, Jim, after the controversy apparently got started by Jim Ross making this statement.
Well, this wasn't like a provocative statement. It wasn't like anything out of left field or something that a lot of people wouldn't say already. So why did that cause any controversy?
As we have witnessed in real time with AEW and specific AEW wrestlers, anything said that could be in any way perceived as a slight is met with an immediate wall of defense. as we have seen.
Well, who's defending it?
Well, Jim Ross makes this statement. Again, I think Randy Orton's the best in the world. Kenny Omega is really good too, and I know some people would think him, but I don't think so. That's what Jim Ross basically said. Chris Jericho tweeted out, in my opinion, Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world today. Others may feel differently, but I've been in the ring with everybody currently working on top, and there's nobody close. That's why Kenny is AEW champ, the most protected title in the biz.
The what?
It's impossible to argue.
Well, no, it's not. It's quite easy to argue. The most protected title in the biz. They're having a title match with their fucking school mascot on their next pay-per-view. How is that protecting their world title? Just that statement alone, before we analyze the other horse shit about him being in the ring with everybody and Twinkle Toes is the best, which is ludicrous, and he wouldn't be saying that except for the fact that he probably got a bonus from Tony Khan for saying that. But what the fuck did he just say? Give me that again. That he just what the fuck is he talking about? The most protected title. How is it protected? It actually is protected.
It's protected now. Because remember, it was stolen when Chris Jericho won it, and someone took it from the fucking car.
The cops had to get it back. When Jericho had it.
The most protected title in the business. It was stolen.
But he's acting like either that it's protected because everybody's out to get it. No, the only people going after it are people that work for the boss. And it's not protected in any way by booking because goofs like fucking My Little Dog Pockets are in world title matches, which is a joke to begin with.
But it doesn't change hands. It doesn't change hands every week, so it's protected.
Oh, God, it could be because nobody else wants it. But anyway, I don't. That's why that I'm roll my eyes at these guys that have to hang on past the time that they should have made their graceful exit from the ring as active participants at the age of 50 or whatever. And instead, he's got to take a contract to hang out with the cool kids and put them over and somehow try to convince wrestling fans, don't pay attention to what you see in front of your eyes. This fucking Harpo Marx looking, fucking prissy prancing, finger pointing, fancy dancing fucking goof who asses off and tells his manager to 69 him on national TV and has matches with small children and wrestles sex dolls, whether in front of people or not. We don't know what he's doing in private. And wants to book Japanese fetish objects as wrestlers on national TV, and et cetera, somehow Jericho has taken on the task of trying to convince wrestling fans that this fucking nattering nincompoop, Kenny Omega, is the greatest wrestler in the world, and all he's doing is ruining his own credibility. Because the only people that are going to believe that are the people that already believe it, and you can't smarten them up, apparently. But no, in any serious discussion by people who are not being fucking paid money to fucking say that, Twinkle Toes McFingerbang is not the greatest wrestler in the world or even close and would not be in the conversation except to be scoffed at because, oh, and by the way, yeah, you know who all these fucking idiots say is the best? Twinkle Toes. That's how he's in the conversation of anybody who knows what the fuck they're talking about who the best wrestler in the world is. Now, I must admit, I would love to see Twinkle Toes and Walter. That's about the only time I'd want to see Twinkle Toes. But anyway, Jericho's fucking, he's lost his credibility a while back. He can't even keep his own family from trying to overthrow the government. He's going to pick the greatest wrestler in the world.
I think one of Jericho's biggest problems is he's not starting the day with a proper breakfast.
You know, that's right. Because I think that's why that he's got that grumpy look on his face all the time, not to mention that inflated spare tire around his midsection. Folks, I now weigh less than Chris Jericho does. Let that settle in. And you know why? Because I'm watching my diet, I'm watching my health, and part of that, as you mentioned, Brian, is getting the day kicked off with a healthy breakfast. And regardless of what kind of diet you are on or what kind of special needs that you need in your eating, the folks at Magic Spoon can take care of it, because not anymore is sugar and junk and carbs the only thing that your cereal is made of. You're not a kid anymore. You can't eat all that stuff. Your parents might have not let you eat it to begin with, but now, if you're trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, and unhealthy food, don't drink protein shakes and powder and all that stuff when you can have a delicious bowl of cereal, courtesy of Magic Spoon. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free, but not taste-free. And you can build your own box in the available flavors to make your own custom bundle, like cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, and cinnamon. You mix the cocoa with the peanut butter, it tastes like a Reese cup. And, you know, I know you guys are eating this stuff because your whole family grazes, but I'm not a grazer on healthy shit. I don't like to do that. But this stuff tastes good, so you'll forget that it's healthy. And you can walk around eating it like candy, or you can eat it out of a bowl like some civilized people eat their cereal. Regardless, if you go to magicspoon.com/Jim and grab a custom bundle of cereal to try today, if you use that promo code Jim at checkout, you'll save $5 off of your order. So remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/Jim. Use the code Jim to save $5. Grab your own custom bundle with all of those delicious flavors that you love.
All right, well, let's get some more delicious questions that you'll love, Jim.
I'm still waiting for one.
Oh, come on. This has been good so far.